So if you meet resolution, fine. If you meet them, fine. If you meet the two, you take resolution. Then you move to the next one, spondiac. 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 Spondiac is a term used when talking about foot in literature. Spondiac is a term used when talking about foot in literature. Spondiac is a term used when talking about foot in literature. Spondiac is a term used when talking about foot in literature. Spondiac is a term used when talking about foot in literature. It is used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables. It is used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables. It is used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables. Metrical foot of 2 syllables. Is used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables in which a stressed syllable is followed by another stressed syllable. In which a syllable is followed by stressed syllable. In which a stressed syllable is followed by another stressed syllable. In which a stressed syllable is followed by another stressed syllable. Now, if you look at the example on the board, you agree with me that you can never pronounce these 2 words without you increasing your tone. If something good or something bad happens and they relay it to you, the next maybe you want to scream, you say, "My God." That's your "my God." If you scream that "my God," you cannot say "my God." It's not possible. You cannot say "my God." No way. It must be "my God." Now, in the process of saying "my God," we call it spondiac foot. When we have 2 stressed, 2 strong, you see, or 2 long syllables. So anytime you come across it in your exams and you see things like that, that is spondiac foot. A foot of 2 long, 2 stressed, or 2 strong syllables. You know, a foot is made up of foot can be stressed or unstressed syllables. But don't get yourself confused. The spondiac foot has 2 stressed syllables, or you say 1 stressed syllable followed by another stressed syllable. That is it. Okay? Now that you've seen that, we'll go to the next one. Pyrrhic. You say pyrrhic. Let's go. Pyrrhic. Pyrrhic in literature can be said to be a poetic term. Pyrrhic in literature can be said to be a poetic term. Pyrrhic in literature can is said to be a poetic term. And be said to be a poetic term, which is used to describe, which is used to describe which is used to describe a foot or a metrical foot, used to describe a metrical foot, which is used to describe a metrical foot, which is used to describe a metrical foot with two unstressed syllables. Two unstressed syllables. Full stop. In other words, comma, in other words, comma, in other words, comma, in this type of food, in this type of food, in other words, in this type of food, a weak syllable is followed by another weak syllable. A weak syllable is followed by another weak syllable. And that options you see, some are using weak, some will be calling it short. You see it, if it is, if you are dealing with a long syllable, some long is stressed. Try to let you understand that, you know, the thing is a foot of two unstressed syllables. Two unstressed syllables is called a foot. And this well, only in that you can see anything to make you discuss the length of lines. So that is it. Look at it. Look at the example. For you to understand what I'm trying to talk about. Look at this example. In this statement, she cannot sing. She English. That's what you're saying. Now, our pyrrhic foot is here. Two weak. If they ask who, he, it must receive stress. You must stress it. You must lay emphasis on the subject. Just like she cannot sing. The she is the subject and the sing is the main verb. Those two, they are very important in this expression. So if you look at it up, you will discover that cannot. They are not as strong as the noun and the performer of the action. So that's why this one remains unstressed. And if it is like this, what do you call it in literature? Pyrrhic foot. You don't forget that. We go to the next one, ambos, also called amb. This is also called amb. This is also called amb. And ambos, and ambos, and ambos, and ambos, and ambos is used to describe an amboss is used to describe an amboss is used to describe a metrical foot. An amboss is used to describe a metrical foot. It's used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables. A metrical foot of 2 syllables. An amboss is used to describe a metrical foot of 2 syllables. Metrical foot of 2 syllables. The metrical foot of 2 syllables, of which an unstressed syllable, an unstressed syllable, an unstressed syllable an unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. That is, a short syllable is followed by a long syllable. A short syllable is followed by a long syllable. An unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. An unstressed syllable is followed by a stressed syllable. That is, a weak syllable is followed by a strong one. You know, that is ambos. We call it iambic foot. Iambic foot. You know, this is the most popular foot in literature. This foot is widely used. If you are doing a blank verse, this is what we use. If you are doing a sonnet, this is what we use. In almost all of our daily, everyday speaking, we use iambic foot a lot in lots of our words. Lots of our words. It has an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. An unstressed syllable followed by a stressed syllable. Oh. The next one we'll be looking at is dactyl. 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 The dactyl is also referred to as a dactylic foot. The dactyl is also referred to as a dactylic fruit. The dactyl is also referred to as a dactylic fruit. The dactyl is also referred to as a dactylic fruit. The dactyl is also referred to as a dactylic fruit. Take note, earlier we discussed iambic fruit. I tried to prove to you. When we discussed the iambic fruit earlier, I tried to prove to you that this is a perfect example whereby you have an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one. You can see it there. That means in this statement we'll still talk about this. Look at it. Unstressed followed by stress, that is iambic. But let's go back to our dactylic fruit. The dactylic fruit has 3 syllables. The dactylic fruit has 3 syllables. The dactylic fruit has 3 syllables. Syllables. In which the dactylic fruit has 3 syllables. In which a stressed syllable, the dactylic fruit has 3 syllables, in which a stressed syllable is followed by 2 unstressed syllables. A stressed syllable is followed by 2 unstressed syllables. A stressed, which a stressed syllable is followed by 2 unstressed syllables. A stressed syllable is followed by 2 unstressed syllables. Stressed syllable is followed by 2 unstressed syllables. Full stop. Now, look at where do we have our dactylic fruits? In which part do you think the dactylic? Yeah, God bless you. If you look at that statement, the I, that pronoun, is a very important word because the speaker is a very important person. He's talking about himself first. I. The big verb, no, is a major verb. It must receive stress. Who are they talking about? Jane. Jane must receive stress. That Jane was the pronoun we used to qualify as she. The she must receive stress. But the modal verb does not need stress. Another main verb that is very important in the statement is the singing. So I know Jane. She cannot sing. So our dactylic foot rests here. Dactylic foot rests there. Talking about a stressed syllable or a strong syllable or a long syllable followed by two stressed syllables, or say two short syllables, or you say two weak syllables. Don't forget that one. Then we move to trochi. 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 Now. The trochi. The trochi. The trochi is also called foot. The trochi is also called a trochaic 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 foot. Full stop. This is a foot of two syllables. 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 Full stop. It has a strong syllable followed by a weak syllable. It has a strong syllable followed by a weak syllable. It has a strong syllable followed by a weak syllable. It has a strong syllable. It has a strong syllable followed by a board. She cherry fruit. I said she can. Some food to discuss, but if we are lucky enough to see them pop up in discussions, we'll be looking at them. I will not explain them right now, but I want to believe we'll be seeing them later. We still have amphibrach foot, we still have amphimesa foot, and we still have anapestic foot. Still have anapestic foot. But meanwhile, let's discuss figures of speech. Let's discuss figures of speech. I keep defining that figures of speech are terms. They are terms used to identify words that are used out of their origin. Every statement in literature and English, every expression, even in our everyday life, can be traced to a particular figure of speech in action. If you don't want to call it figure of speech, call it figurative device. Figurative device. Figurative device. If you don't want to call it figure of speech, call it figurative device. So now, euphemism. Euphemism is a figurative device. 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 Euphemism is a figurative device used when an unpleasant experience, used when an unpleasant experience, used when an unpleasant experience is presented in a pleasant form. It is used when an unpleasant experience is presented in a pleasant form. It is used when an unpleasant experience is presented in a pleasant form. Or when a harsh experience is presented in a mild form. Or when a harsh experience is presented in a mild form. Or when a harsh experience is presented in a mild form. Or when a harsh experience is presented in a mild form. Take note of the way I'm saying it, because I'm gonna bless you at the end of this segment. If I'm through with this first segment, I will bless you. And as I will be blessing you, you have to give me my correct, accurate answer. Yes. Only those that sow will reap. It is what you sow, that's what you wear. You know? If you sow sleep, you're going to reap sleep. You know? If you sow idleness, you reap idleness. Only those that sow will reap. All right. Now, euphemism. We use them every day. Euphemism is a figurative device used when unpleasant experience is presented in a pleasant form. Horrible experience, you present it in a mild form. For people, you're trying to reduce the tempo, trying to calm people down, trying to let them understand that even if it's so bad, there's a better way to say it. There's a better way to say it. Okay? Full stop. man are we talking about? What? He's a poor man. So instead of it to say he does not have money to buy meat, he will say he would like food but without meat. Or you don't get the point. People will think, oh, he does not like to buy meat. Or he does not eat meat. But obviously, we are talking about a poor man. So euphemism is a mild way of saying something. Um, only your friend can tell you that. So I'm trying to see, even friends cannot tell you. Because I have some friends with mouth odor. I don't know how to tell them. Please, can you guys tell me how to tell them? I want to believe you people, you've also had friends with mouth odor. You've not had anyone? You've not had friends with mouth odor. Ah, you don't have. You've not had anyone. It's so annoying. They'll talk to you, you won't know where to put your nose, You just say, that's true. How can you even tell them? You just meet your friend and say, guy, your mouth is stinking, man. It will cause problem. You have plenty. Big violence. So how do you think, which euphemism can we use? Let me think of this euphemism. If you have a friend with mouth odor, but the problem is, will they use it? Then just go to the market and get some beautiful, what do you call it? Toothpaste. Good one. You too, try. Go to the hospital, ask a medical expert, please, somebody has mouth odor. And the person is very important to the world. Can you please recommend something for me? And they'll recommend for you. You go to your friend's house. Just try. Pass the night there. And when you wake up, you say, do you have toothpaste? Yes, I have. And it brings it. You say, oh, there's one I bought that you will like. You see this your own. Press it and make sure you waste it. Throw it. So I will not use it later. Destroy it. Say, you see this one? Listen, this one is so expensive and it's recommended by so and so. You say, you see, if you use it, even if you have mouth odor, everything will die. Or you don't. I think it will be a good way to help. And try you to use it in front of him, You say, just enjoy this coming out. Just be like, I'll be like, the thing is same thing. And let him use it. And he'll do it. But as he's doing the same, please be very careful because we don't know. Then we use it as well. I tell you, that's a better way of presenting a harsh statement. Or you understand? You can use it the same way you okay. You can use it for saying the order will come out. In terms when you not brush the tongue that is giving the order. I've seen people brushing tongue where the mouth still stinks. Yeah. I've seen. Most times, have you not heard people, at times if you go to, living in ghetto life, you are bathing here in this bathroom, somebody is there trying to cut off their throat. Have you not heard some people brush? They would do upon everything. The mouth will still smell. So, most guys, most experts, they believe it's brushing of the tongue, but I still believe that the nose of the dog is black. No matter how you wash it, it will still remain black. Medical experts should tell us what to do because we have friends with mouth odor. And these guys, they are very important to me. You cannot run away if they are talking. And they love you so much that they will come close to you. They will be telling you in your ears like this. So please, ladies and gentlemen, if I have mouth odor, just tell me who I just tell me. I will not kill myself so that I will know what to do. Look, I don't know. Maybe those that have it don't know they have it. Maybe they don't know. Most times they'll say, do like this, and you smell it. Even if your mouth is clean, sometimes it will still smell. That one is a different thing. So, but mouth odor. Because one day your helper will run away. Your helper will say, please come closer, come and tell me. And I say, no, please shift a little. He said, is he not the one that asked me to come closer? You don't know what's happening. Stand like this. So please, if you don't have that disease, you don't know what God has done for you. You don't know what God has done for you. But if you have it, you still don't know what God has done for you. But you need to help yourself. Because God did not want it to be like God, the word says at the beginning it was not so. That's not the plan. So you can still work on yourself. You say what? Yes, you need to. Rabbit died in the stomach, so and the rabbit is getting decomposed, so it's coming out. So please, euphemism is used when a harsh statement is presented in a mild form. You see, someone loses, maybe you lose a loved one, and people are crying. People are crying. Okay, you lose a loved one. You've not known that you've lost someone. And a friend of yours will just come. You lost a person dear to you. And a friend of yours will just come to you and say, well, how are you doing today? Say, fine. Just buy you many things. Let's go and just enjoy ourselves, So this one that this man is taking me out, it has never happened before. Okay, let's go and flex. And everything you return as you are returning, person will just say, man, this life is not an easy thing. The greatest thing your parents can do for you is to give birth to you and not abort you in the process. They've given you education, they've given you this, they've given you that. For instance, like me, when I lost my father, that's what the person is saying. When I lost my father, I thought the world has ended. But when I discovered that he gave me education, he gave me wisdom, he gave me a whole lot, I had to pay him back even while he's in the grave. But for instance, let's say you lost your father right now. Let's say you lost him. Will you still try to make sure you fulfill your purpose? Yes, of course I will. Are you going to kill yourself because he dies? No, I can't. No, my father has tried for me, and the only thing I should do is to make sure his legacy alive, do things, even while he's in the afterlife, let him be proud of me. I like you, you're a strong man. But, it's not really easy. We tried all our best. I was in the hospital all through last week trying to make sure everything is fine. But your daddy has gone home to rest. Just calm down, just calm down, just calm down. He has gone home, and what he's expecting of you is for you to keep his legacy alive. I trust you. I know you will not fail us. You will not fail us. But if you are not the wise type, hello, your father is dead. That means if you go to the court of law and that person faints, you are the one that killed the person. They're going to hold you because you caused the shock that killed that person. You see it? We've seen it in cases whereby the woman is cooking. She was cooking in the evening. The husband just returned from work and said, sweetheart, let me go there and get a paper. Let me get one paper, today's paper. And as the man was crossing, he was knocked down by a vehicle, he died. Then somebody rushed to the house. Madam, your husband has been knocked down, your husband is dead, and the woman faints. The case went to court. They accused that man of committing battery, that he was the one that killed the woman. He said, no, I just came to tell her something. You killed this woman. That is just the issue. So we should know how to use euphemism. We should be very careful. You fail an exam. Oh, Mama, see, even if you bring William Shakespeare to sit for this exam, I mean, you know that I don't joke with my book. You want me to say yes, but let me see, I failed this exam. I failed. You did not fail, though. I failed. So if James did not even pass, I will not be surprised. The mother will never beat James again, because you have presented the issue in a way that even the mother will say, thank God came back with your head that you did not even die during the exam. That is one thing, So euphemism, it's right, because we have a whole lot of them. We're coming across them little by little. All right. Just like we have it in this poem, a government driver on his retirement. The man says, and so he boozed and boozed, celebrating the celebration of his retirement. On his way home on wheels, booze bruised his vision and clear judgment. He boomed his brand new car. He did not say, and it killed him. He said, and it sent him home to rest in peace. That is euphemism. You understand? That's a mild way of presenting harsh statements. Now, we'll move over to hyperbole. Hyperbole. Hyperbole is a figure of speech used when you want to exaggerate. It is used when you exaggerate. Hyperbole is a figure of speech. It's a figure of exaggeration. Hyperbole is used when you overstate. It's a figure of speech used when you overstate. Should I say it is, plenty of these look alike. Thank God it's close to euphemism. Euphemism, something heavy, you bring it down. Hyperbole, what would have been normal, you raise it up again. You raise it up again. Because you're a rich man. Because you're a rich man. Because you got some money. You got some money. Then you come and say, have you met that rich man? See, if you meet that man, there was a day he came to this place and he gave everybody in the village money. How possible is it? I've not met that kind of human being. Just gather off. Maybe you were 200 that day and he said, you take this 5,000, you take this 10,000. And the man gave everybody in the village money. That's hyperbole, overstatement. Overstatement. Because you are smart, because we love you so much, we like the way you do things, and somebody say, wow, this is this guy. Nobody's as wise as this guy in this class. Hyperbole. Nobody's as wise as this guy in this village. Hyperbole. I'm so hungry that I can devour a whole cow. Hyperbole. You are trying to express how intense that thing is. You understand? Hyperbole is used when you try to pour your mind out. You don't just know how to reserve anything. Because you need to convince people that what you want to do, what you are doing is the right thing. I think children use hyperbole. And even some people, maybe the mom is beating you, you've offended, and the mom is trying to spank you. And because your mommy locked the door so that nobody will come and rescue, someone come and help me, she has killed me, she has killed. It's hyperbole. Hyperbole, let's look at it this way. Is it a lie? Is hyperbole a lie? Is it a lie? Are you sure it's a lie? I want to believe it's not a lie. I want to believe you're just trying to express a point. I don't think it's a lie, but it looks like a lie. So I will still take my time to study hyperbole, to know if truly it's a lie. Because, you know why I say it's not a lie? Because the world is seeing what you are saying, and they understand that you're just trying to make a point. And nobody will accuse. I've never seen who they accuse for using hyperbole. Have you seen? Because you can say, man, didn't you see yesterday's rain? Guy, the rain flooded your world. They will still not beat you. They will not accuse that of a truth. The rain flooded your world using hyperbole. I don't get it. She asked me, that is the hyperbole. What about a situation by because you did, maybe you fetch water for one man and the man is so happy, the man gave you, you say, no, I like it. For the fact that you helped me. Since my family traveled, you've been the one helping me, you go to market for me, did it. So I want to appreciate you. Take this brand new car, take this apartment, I give you this apartment, take this, I want to pay your school fees, I will pay your school fees from now on till you finish university, till you do your second degree. In fact, I will also take, then that is what the man did. And now your friend comes, you say, man, that man, the man gave me, in fact, there is nothing on earth that he did not give to me. Is it a lie? And you can never argue that there is nothing on earth that they didn't give to that person. You say there's no. I mean, is it? No, no, no. The man really did everything for you. To lie, you conclude the lie for the person. So it's a way of trying to lay emphasis on what you believe is the truth. It's a way of trying to lay emphasis on what you believe is the truth. You see that? Then we move over to rhythm. Rhythm. Rhythm is a poetic term. Rhythm is a poetic term. You know, you can force a horse to the stream, but you cannot force it to drink. That's what we are seeing right now. Look at him. And he's my friend. I like him. I have big plans for him, but I just pray he does well. Oh, I have big plans for him. Or what do you think? What do you think? We have big plans for this guy. Pardon? Yes, if he performs well. We have big plans for you. All right. Let's look at rhythm. Rhythm. Wait, the word rhythm. Is it onomatopoeic first? I think it's onomatopoeic. Because the way it sounds and what it does, rhythm, it resembles its name now. Or what do you think? So now, rhythm is a poetic term that comes to play this one you can share sound in a poem. That's rhythm. Meaning the musical beats in a poem. Rhythm is rhythmical beats in a poem. Not all poems are rhythmic. Sound have beats, but anyone that be good who sat and watched when sleep and I think number rhythm. Do you enhance rhythm? Foot and meter enhance rhythm. Time we come across rhythm, you will see that there's a kind of measurements in these lines. Go lead to star. How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. You see, twinkle, twinkle, little star. How I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Look at rhythm. Rhythm, the flow, the musical flow in poetry. Musical flow in poetry is rhythm. We use rhythm to talk about the musical flow in poetry. Do you understand? Not all poems fall into that group. I was through with that some hours, some minutes ago. I change it to dramatic time. When musical beats is audibly visible in a poem, you cannot doubt it. You cannot doubt a poem with rhythm. Cage bird, she says, a free bird leaps on the back of the wind and flows downstream till the current ends and dips its wings in the horizon rays and dares to claim the sky. But a bird that stalks down its narrow cage can seldom see through its bars of rage. Its wings are clipped and its feet are tied, so it opens its throat to sing. The caged bird sings with a fearful trail of things unknown but long for still. Its tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. Now, the free bird thinks of another breeze, and trade winds soft through the sighing tree, and the far ones waiting on the dawn bright lawn, and it names the sky its own. But the bird that stalks down its narrow cage can seldom see through its bars of freight. Its wings are clipped and its feet are tied, so it opens its throat to sing. Now the caged bird sings with a fearful trail of things unknown but long for still. Its tune is heard on the distant hill, for the caged bird sings of freedom. That is rhythm. It makes you enjoy poetry. Rhythm makes you enjoy poetry. One day we are going to do reading night. We're going to do reading night. I'll be working on that with you guys. You give me poems with reading, you win some good money. Give me poems with good reading. They picked a carny up one morning, beat him soft like clay, and stuffed him down the belly of a waiting jeep. What business of mine is it so long they don't take the yam from my sovereign mouth? They came one night, booted the whole house away, and dragged the laddie out, up to a lengthy absence. What business of mine is it so long they don't take the yam from my sovereign mouth? Chinwe went to work one month only to find a job was gone, no query, no warning, no probe, just a cleanser for a stainless record. What business of mine is it so long they don't take the yam from my sovereign mouth? And then one night as I sat down to eat my yam, a knock on the door froze my hungry. The jeep was waiting on my bewildered long, waiting in its usual silence. Reading helps you to retain the words in the poem. You see that? It helps you to retain the words in the poem. Because the more you make it musical, the more you retain those words. The more you want to keep them for life. Are you following me? That is the idea. The more you want to keep them for life. Creativity, hands down. We move to this genre. God willing, I'll be giving out. No first and second, we do only first in our program. Hope you understand. We don't give to second position. You understand? Do for only first. And then yesterday, Mr. What's his name? Elliot won 5,000 naira from me. Yeah. 5 good. Okay, if you sum up everything, you want 10,000 naira. Mr. Philip, the same thing as well. And they've been enjoying their money. The money refused to get exhausted. They're still flexing. So, genre is a term. It's a term used to mean class. It's a term used to mean class. It's a term you use when you want to categorize things into different groups. In literature, we don't say the types in this part. We most time will say, like now we have the genres of literature. You want to categorize some things into some group, the genre of literature. This genre now, how many genres of literature do we have? 3: drama, prose, and poetry. Those are the genres of these are the categories. Do you understand? That's the word we want to use. Then you say verse. Verse. Another word for poem is a 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 verse. Which means a verse is the blending together of words with imageries. The blending together of words with imageries and symbols. Blending together of words with images and symbols. Imageries and symbols. and presented in lines and stanzas. And presented in lines and stanzas. And presented in lines and stanzas. You blend words with imageries and symbols. Present them in lines and stanzas. That's why if you read 10 poems, for every 10 poems you read, 8 or 9 must be blended with imageries and symbols. Check all the poems I've been giving to you as example. They appear to be deeper than what you are seeing on the surface. They appear to be deeper than what you are seeing on. That's where imageries and symbols come. They appear to be deeper than what you are seeing on the surface. That's the idea. You know, when you are writing a verse, you will, when you are going through, when you are reading a verse, you will agree with me that you have to see deeper than what you are seeing on the surface. Your mind's eye must travel far to create mental picture inside of your mind. That's why we say it is the blend of imageries with words, the blending of words with imageries and symbolism, and presented in lines and stanzas. Look at style. When you mention style, when you say style, when you say style, when you say style in literature, you are trying to talk about your pattern, your technique, your pattern and your technique. We are trying to talk about the way you present your work, the things you've infused into your work to bring out the beauty. Discuss the word style. Discuss the style of the author in book A or book B. The way you present your work determines the style of the style you use in making your work fine. You know, the way you present your work. The beauty of the work is largely dependent on the style. If you are a poetaster, it will show based on the style you've used. A poetaster is a hack poet, it's a fake poet. If you are a fake playwright, it will show. We've seen some drama pieces, some plays, you know that this person is just trying to try. The plot is not beautiful, it's not full. The techniques, they don't have some beautiful dramatic techniques there. You know, if you watch some movies, you know that the style is not making sense. You see the costume, you see the setting, you see the way they present things, you will not be okay with it. You see the casting, you know, there are some movies you watch, you won't know. You know, I watched a movie some time ago. At a point, I was thinking, is this a satellite footage? I was looking at it. This thing, I don't think this is a movie. Not until I saw one of my most favorite celebrity, one of my most favorite actor. I said, oh, so this thing is actually a thing. Because if you see the delivery of lines, if you see the costume, if you see the casting, you know, you see a man, you see that this man is supposed to act as a man of 30 years, and they use a man of 30 years to do that. When they could not achieve that, you see how the makeup and the costume transforms somebody to get to where they want him to get. Your style will sell your poems, to sell your prose, it will sell your drama, it will sell your song, it will sell your comedy, it will sell it depends on style. To sell your teaching. Teaching literature is art on its own. You know, where should we categorize it? Drama, prose, and poetry. Where should we put teaching? Because you see that drama, prose, and poetry, you see every other thing. Talking about song, talking about comedy. Because some people say, sir, okay, if we have three genres of literature, drama, prose, and poetry, okay, Where do we put dance? Or you don't get the point. Where do we put singing? Where do we put playing of musical instruments? All these things are literature. Where do we put oratory? That is speech delivery. All of them inside drama, prose, and poetry. If you are so creative, you know where to put them. So where do we put teaching of literature? What do you think? Is it prose? I want to believe it's drama. Because drama is the impersonation of other people's characters presented on stage for the audience. So what am I doing? I'm acting for my audience. Do you understand? And it depends on how I will present, how we act my play, deliver my line, it will make my audience listen. Or you don't understand? So everything has style. As you are here today, one day you become an arbiter, you become a guru when it comes to literature. You make money out of it. When I started, I told you, gave you some importance of literature. Literature helps to generate wealth as well. Literature is one big money-making machine. Because in today's world, everybody is jumping, diving, not even running into, diving into literature. I do tell some guys that in most cases, there are folks that they cannot enjoy their phone without literature in it. The song you listen to, the short skits you watch, the music you listen to, the drama you watch, the movies you watch, everything. Your gadget will be as good as useless if literature dies. Life would have been as good as useless if there's no literature. Most time I watch preachers display on stage, I say, wow, this guy would do a good actor. You see them display, say, wow, this is awesome. As they are giving you the message, you are saying, okay, he has used so and so technique, he has used so, you'll be monitoring the whole scenario. And by God's grace, globally, preachers are wonderful actors. As they come on stage, you see somebody coming on stage, and the way they will be delivering the word, you know that, wow, this is fine. Style. Your style either makes your work grow or makes it die. You understand? So work on your style. That's life. Life is all about styling. Move over to diction. Diction is a poetic term. Diction is a poetic term. Diction is a poetic term. This diction is a poetic term. It's a poetic term. Diction is a poetic term which is used to describe a poet's choice of words. Diction is a poetic term used to describe a poet's choice of words. Now, if you agree with me, there was a time I told you that language is related to all genres of literature, meaning that the diction is the poet's language. Is the poet's language. The poet's language. Diction is the poet's language. The poet's choice of words, how he brought words together to form a poem. Diction. The poet's language. Look at all the poems I've been giving you as example. See construction, see play, see how these guys played with words. Look at Maya Angelou, trying to talk about the whites and the blacks, how the blacks were going through pain many years ago in the United States of America. Look at what she did with words, a free bird and a caged bird. She did not mention anybody. She did not say the black word. No, a free bird and a caged bird. Look at Gabriel Imomotime Okara, the way he played with piano and drums. You see, piano and drums by Gabriel Imomotime Okara. He's an Ijaw poet, very talented poet. Gabriel Okara. If you look at that poem, you're going to enjoy poetry. Look at what is the cathedral. If you look at that poem, on this patch, look at this, on this dirty patch, a tree once stood, shedding incense on infant corn. Its boughs stretched across the heavens, brightened by the last fires of a tribe. They sent surveyors and builders who cut that tree, planting in its place a huge, senseless cathedral of doom. That's the poem. Look at that beautiful short poem. The message is heavy. On this beautiful place called Africa, we had our tradition. On this dirty patch, a tree once stood. This tradition has been blessing everybody, spreading incense on the infant corn. Africans have been enjoying from this shade. Or you don't get the point? It bows. Bows means branches and leaves of a tree. It bows, stretched across the heavens, brightened by the last fires of a tribe. We've been pushing our tradition forward. We've been enjoying it. The world enjoys our tradition. But look at the second part of the poem. They sent surveyors and builders who cut that tree at a point. What I love now is that, not that they even sent, if you look at the picture, we went to bring surveyors and builders. If you look at today's life, is it not so? We went to bring surveyors and builders who cut that tree. Okay, after cutting it, maybe leave it, let it grow again, but planting in its place a huge, senseless cathedral of doom. What figure of speech is that last one? A huge, senseless cathedral of doom. That's antithesis. Cathedral is supposed to bring peace and love and everything, but that of destruction. They brought it in. Today, brother is fighting brother. Before it was not so. Before, you need bread and have butter. You give me bread, I give you butter. We don't check if there's poison. We exchange things. But when they cut down that tree, they've sown a seed of discord, planting in its place. I come from a country, Nigeria, very proud people. If we're celebrating, give me food, I give you food. But these days, celebration is so dull. You lock up your children in your room and you feed them. No more give me food, I give you food. Planting in its place a huge sense cathedral of, and the world, it's so painful that the world is happy with it right now. Before, we shake hands. You don't care if the hands are dirty. We shake hands and you put it back in your pocket. But these days, you want to shake, you give them here because you don't want to rub your face with the hand. What's going on? It's a fine diction. J.P. Clark wrote a very beautiful poem. The poem has 5 lines, but not a limerick. Beautiful poem. The title is Ibadan. Ibadan. You know, times I wonder, you are from Kiabodo in Patani local government area of Delta, Patani local government area of Delta State. J.P. Clark. It's an Ijaw man. You know, shout out to Ijaw Nation. These guys are wonderful, doing fine poems. We have a couple of them in the literature world. They are wonderful guys. J.P. Clark, we just lost him not too long. He said in the poem Ibadan, he said, Ibadan, running splash of rust and gold, flung and scattered among 7 hills like broken china in the sun. That's just the poem. And that poem is one of the finest poems in the world. What is the meaning of the poem? Look at his diction. If you've ever been to Ibadan, try. Anywhere you are in Ibadan, just try and look for a kind of tall bridge. Climb the top of that bridge and look at Ibadan. You will see what J.P. Clark has said. He said Ibadan is a place, even till today, He wrote the poem years ago, but till today, do what I've just asked you. You see what J.P. Clark has said in his poem. He said, Ibadan is a place that when you stand up, you will see lots of roofs. Some are old roofs, rust. Some are beautiful modern roofs, gold. And Ibadan, we have 7 major mountains or hills surrounding Ibadan. He said, Ibadan, running splash of rust and gold. See how he plays with what there? Flung and scattered among 7 hills, like broken china in the sun. How? What is broken china? China means breakable plates. To break those plates. You see imagery, the way they'll be doing in your eye, that's how those roofs will be. If you want to, you've watched some movies, when they take the scenery, give you some kind of wide shot, you see those kind of buildings there. That's what he's trying to picture. And that's a very good description of Ibadan, whether you like it or not. That is just the description of Ibadan. You see? So poets been using words, those words they bring together. Look at Niyo Shundari. He's trying to let you understand that we should love our neighbor as ourselves. Be your brother's keeper. How will I pass this message across to them? Let me do this point. They picked Akani up and see his pattern. You can see that the first name is not Chinwe. He believes that we call ourselves Wazobia, or you don't understand. Not Bia, Wazobia. So he has to put the Wa first, Akani. The second one is Danladi. I don't know if you get this man's style. Then the third one is Chinwe. That is Wa, the Yoruba, Wazobia. It's trying to let you know that let's be one. Because if you throw a stone into the market, you don't know who it will touch. Just because they did not take your yam, I think to not affect you. Don't worry, what goes around comes around. And then one evening, as I sat down to eat my yam, a knock on the door froze my hungry hands. The jeep was waiting on my bewildered lawn, waiting in its usual silence. You should know what will happen next. You see, and I see the way the poem ends. It ends on a note for you, the reader, to keep wondering, to conclude it by yourself. You see, that is that. Then we have climax. We have climax. Climax is in 2 ways. Climax is in 2 ways. Climax is in 2 ways. Climax is the highest point of conflict in a work of art. The moment you are through with this lecture, I will be so happy because I've been able to plant inside of you literature in English for life. For life. There are things some of you have learned here that you will never forget for life. You will never forget. When you go home to watch a movie, you remember what that man said. You will never forget some things for life. I'm not just talking, I'm saying it. You will never, ever